spectrum this evening.
We are
It's crazy.
live, ladies and gentlemen, people of everywhere. Welcome to another episode of the Run and Gun Podcast, Season 7, Episode 16. Senior Bowl this week. I mean, I think the Pro Bowl's this week, but nobody really gives a crap. Because, it's the Pro Bowl and it's,
Sucks.
falling off so much. Man,
It
name a bigger
sucks.
fall off than the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl hasn't been good since probably in Hawaii. That was the good old days, bruh. Super Bowl 58 is now announced to be the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Shocker. I really didn't like it, but whatever. Deadpool rewatch. Here we go.
Wow. Not a Deadpool rewatch.
Not again.
Yeah, you know.
It'll be the third time or fourth time since 2019.
I mean,
I think the last one, was Chiefs Bucks. I didn't watch either because of that whole Jared Cook nonsense. I didn't watch that Super Bowl, bro. I was petty. I was petty back then. Still petty now. The same I don't give a beep attitude still. So what we're gonna do?
I mean, I'm gonna still watch it. I mean, I'm not happy about what was in it, but I mean, I'm gonna still watch it and stuff, even though it is what it is. But yeah, got all that good stuff as well too. We're going to also talk about tonight, FAMU making the hire and going with James Colsey, finally getting their man, and Tiffany wasting a good amount of money. I don't know how much, but just wasting a good amount of money on hiring a searching firm or search committee, whatever she wants to call it, to go find a coach that was in-house that should have been hired the whole time. Give me one sec, dude.
Damn, FBI coming out for J Peeps. Okay, well, while the FBI goes bust down J Peeps' door, yeah, so FAMU finally hired the guy. Took him forever. James Colsey, shout out him. Congrats to being the new head coach of FAMU. Shouldn't have taken that long, to be honest. Like, we've been saying it for weeks, but that's over with. So now they can focus on keeping guys for signing day coming up. Everything going good on that end for FAMU, and they got to catch back up now because a lot of teams already had their head coach for a couple weeks now, and now they got to get in and get going. Got to hit it full running. Spring's in a couple of weeks. Got to get ready for that signing day. All those goodies coming around. So with that, we'll talk about that on the other end. Be a friend, tell a friend. I'm Ace. For those who are new here, J Peeps has got the FBI at his door or something. I don't know, but anyway. I am gonna run this intro, and I will see you on the other side when I can find it. There.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to
the
Run and Gun Podcast.
What's going back on the other side? Now I gotta go switch the backgrounds. Ooh, yay. I don't know. FBI still looking for J Peeps, I guess. Damn, that's tough. Alright, so, FAMU's announced new head coach. Wait, where's the banners? Did he make banners for this thing? Bro, last time he made a banner for this thing was, favorite Christmas movie, bro. No, that's actually insane. But, everything FAMU, about time. He didn't give me the script. I'm gonna wing this. So basically, James Colsey is now the head coach for FAMU. We were drunk, and us were saying, they had to get one by this week, man. You couldn't push this back anymore. Drag your feet with this one. This was an absolute must to get done for them by this week with signing day coming around the corner. So with that, shout out James Colsey, great for him. Great opportunity for him. Great for the players because that's the guy that most of them wanted, so that's all good all around, keeping the same culture, same vibes, going from the Willie Simmons era to the James Colsey era, basically. So with all that, hopefully FAMU, they don't miss a beat, they don't lose too many guys to the transfer portal on the second wave with, keeping a guy to keep the culture going. So you have to keep all those things in-house. You got to keep everybody there so you can keep it running. Hey, what the FBI want?
Check your phone.
Oh God,
You're
bro.
not gonna believe it.
All right, back to this. All right, let's talk about James Colby, man. We ain't talking about that. We ain't gonna talk about all that.
Where are we at right now?
Talking about James Colby, great opportunity for him to be keeping his first stop at a head coach. Also keep the vibes going for FAMU and the culture there. Keeping the guys in house, got to keep it going for signing day and all that stuff coming up.
Very well. So as I regather myself,
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Like this.
That door's locked and staying locked the rest of the evening.
Bruh,
Kid you not.
tell the FBI to go away.
But so
Bruh.
I'm very happy about the move. I enjoy it a lot. I like it a lot, dude. I think honestly you shouldn't have wasted all that money on a hire such as that or anything. Like there was no need for a hiring committee or search committee or anything like that. Like you made the right move doing what you had to do in, finding the right guy, someone that the players wanted, someone that I think a lot of people around the program wanted, someone that, is a former Bowden disciple, someone that has core values in the game, someone that understands the game, someone that played under Mickey Andrews, who was a famous defensive coordinator.
That's probably not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening, dude. Unfortunately, dude. And honestly, for the people that are saying, for those that are saying out there that FAMU needs to go get an OC, FAMU already has an OC on staff. Willie Simmons literally trusted Coach Joseph Henry to call this offense last season. So the whole time he figured, oh my God, Willie Simmons is in his bag. Have I got news for you? Coach Henry was in his bag. Willie Simmons was there just merely, making sure everything stayed on track and making the overriding final decision. But with that being said, Coach Colsey was calling those plays. So jumping out on Jackson State 28-0 and possibly could have put up more points. That was Coach Henry. Blasting Prairie View twice, Coach Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really opening up the playbook on Bethune-Cookman, Coach Henry. Knowing he could have opened it up even more and blasted Bethune-Cookman by 40, Coach Henry. So you have an excellent offensive mind still on staff, and you need to give him his credit where credit's due. The man played in the SEC, coached in the SEC. I believe also won a national title in the SEC with 2019 LSU, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. And he's a huge reason why people like Cardell Thomas are in Tallahassee. So you got to give that man credit where credit's due. And the offensive line is the foundation of the offense. Regardless of how much you want to credit the playmakers on the outside, that offensive line makes that offense go. So, yeah, I don't think KJ Black's not coming back, honestly. Especially, let's factor in your DC that's also Coach Schmitty, who's also a former Saban disciple, which I just found out. Yep, he's back too. He's back as well.
Keeping it going.
Exactly. Another guy with SEC experience, worked as an offensive analyst, actually, under Nick Saban in Tuscaloosa, which I never knew until a few weeks ago. So it's going to be fine. We'll be all right. But yeah, honestly, though, like speaking of KJ Black, though, when you look at that, like seeing that Raheem Morris just got a job with the Atlanta Falcons as head coach, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he is the head coach. You have Zach, wasn't it? O'Connor? No. Geez, I'm forgetting the name. Zach Robinson. He's the OC. He was the quarterback coach with LA. He's now the OC down in Atlanta with Raheem Morris. So, it's going to be, they're taking the Rams thing. Like I said, most guys who work with Sean McVay or Kyle Shanahan are going to get a good coaching job very soon. I'll give KJ Black probably 2 more years. He's probably going to be an OC somewhere in 2 years, and then he's going to probably be a head coach somewhere in a couple of years. If he does it right with Sean McVay. So.
Exactly. And so that's why I look at that, and I'm like, I look at what happened for Raheem Morris, and I'm like, pretty soon KJ Black's going to have lots of potential suitors that are going to be able to pay him a lot more than a lot of FCS and FBS programs. Calling his front door or knocking on his front door, calling his phone late at night, trying to get him to come to their facility. So in due time, his bag is coming. So that's why I don't think KJ Black is coming back, especially at this point, especially seeing the promotion that just happened for Raheem Morris. But other than that, let's go ahead and slide on over to it. What are your expectations for year one of James Colsey?
Probably 3 losses max.
I say the same thing. I say the same exact thing. Despite Lovie Jenkins and Alan Smith Sr. both hitting the portal, I could see that as well. I think 2 of them come to Miami and Troy. But I don't see this team losing a game in the month of November. If this team, in the month of November, I don't see this team losing a game. But I do think, aside from the Miami and Troy losses, this team is either going to drop 1 in Jackson or it's going to drop 1 in Montgomery if they have 3 losses. Now, if they get through both unscathed, if you survive the month of October, you pretty much already clinched the East. Start booking it to host, pretty much. But I will say, if they do falter, it's going to happen in October against a SWAC opponent. But I think we need to,
like I said, 3
to
losses.
further get an understanding of it, we need to see how signing day goes and how the recruiting process goes between now and towards the 4th of July. But honestly, now, like looking at his opening presser, saying like, continuing to develop young men, continuing to develop, first-class students, continuing to dominate the school here in Volusia County, which is the goal. And then also to, hosting the SWAC championship, making it to the Celebration Bowl and winning the Celebration Bowl. Those are all of his goals for year one and expectations, which I love to hear. So, if he can keep the train rolling, that's perfect. Also, too, I did finally see his I saw his contract, actually. Whoops. Let's see if I can find it, actually.
You don't remember
Go
being
ahead.
on the list of 5 drunk? Come on now, drunk. He was on the list.
Cool.
We are live.
I'd be drunk when he was.
Yeah, drunk. He was on the list. I'm trying to find
He was
out
the
how much
first
he's going to
one.
Oops. Yeah, I'm trying to find out how much he
It
made.
was, I'm pretty sure he was like the first one, and we just like, how do I say this? Like, we kind of already had him like right off on top. Like, he should be the favorite, and then we just talked about the other guys who probably shouldn't be in it, but
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's,
Wait, let's see.
It's gonna be thing. It shouldn't have taken that long, when you have a guy that obvious to be your candidate, and you're like, okay, so we had to kind of drag that one out because it's like, well, he should be the guy, but he's not the guy yet because of stupid reasons. So he is now, so we can move on with it. But I'm trying to wait for J Peeps here. No, y'all faces don't scream excited for James Colsey. I mean, you're how do I say this? When you get a guy coming in the house, you kind of expect it to keep it going. Not, it's it's gonna be like exciting new change or something. It's kind of like maintain expectation of what the standard is already. So it's like, all right, gonna keep it going business as normal.
Okay, here it is. So James Colsey's contract in year 3, mind you, that when you look at the numbers, this is also an HBCU. This is not a $1 million situation like a Nick Saban or a Jimbo Fisher or a Dabo Swinney. Get your hopes up for that. 3-year deal.
Drunk. Let me tell you right now. I'm gonna interrupt you, JP's. Drunk. JP's had the FBI show up at his door basically just now before we right when we started. So his head is not in it.
I'm just like low key. I'm just like shocked. Dude, I looked at who was through that peephole and I did not open that door. I was like, oh no, I'm not doing this tonight. I'm sitting my behind right back down. And if I check that peephole again, let me stop. Back to business.
Don't think about it.
Now, James Colsey's contract in his 3-year deal that pays. Okay, 3-year deal that pays $230K in the first year, $240K in the second year, and $250K in the third year. Not to mention, this also probably likely includes incentives for, of course, beating Bethune-Cookman. That include winning the SWAC East, that include winning the SWAC, winning the Celebration Bowl, clinching the East. So there are incentives, I'm sure, that will hit if he reaches those marks.
I think he can.
I think he can too.
I don't know about. He might get it this year. I doubt it though.
It's going to be tough. I mean, you have a quarterback on roster, you got wide receivers and everything. It's just, it's a few key pieces here and there, depth pieces that you have to add on to that either did not come along because Willie Simmons and Coach Rispers left, or
Good evening, Troy White from Fat Mouse Sports. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd add DB to that list too. But you gotta. Well, General Hunt came back. He's back. He's been working out with the team for a couple of weeks now. But you definitely got to find a quality linebacker, considering the fact that Johnny Chaney Jr. doesn't come back, and plus the kid from Michigan State hopped back in the portal, and then you got to go out there. Well, you added another DB, but you can never have too many DBs, especially on the college level, seeing as though Lovie Jenkins just hit the portal too. So you have to address those needs and everything, which I'm confident they will, and everything such as that. But, all in all, you have the pieces that you can still make a run. You have this talented backfield. This offense does not worry me, honestly. It's just the added depth pieces that need to be had on defense that need to be added. And I think you'll get those with recruiting and here coming towards signing day. Because, again, why would you not want to – FAMU is still a brand that can sell itself. It's still a hot ticket for students.
We had
players, coaches.
Memes made Bill Belichick as the head coach at one point. FAMU's got to draw by itself.
Yeah, dude.
FAMU got to draw by itself.
Look, I'll tell you, dude, if Bill Belichick went to FAMU, dude, that would be a wrap for the rest of the SWAC. Shut out. Exactly. You think what Dion did was impeccable? If Bill Belichick came to FAMU and did that with a bunch of ragtag guys that nobody wanted, like he did with the Patriots for the most part, like, dude, it would be even that much more impressive. So for the rest of the college football world, you do not want Bill Belichick to come to Tallahassee. You wouldn't want that to happen. Listen, let's be honest. James Colsey's a major downgrade. I'm gonna say F it.
He's just saying it for hot.
He probably is. Honestly. I mean, look, I believe in him. I like his plan. I'm all in for it. He's better than a lot of people that were on that list. because honestly, it's like, Coach Henry was on the list as well too, but Coach Henry's still on the staff. Coach Smith, Ryan Schmitty, was still on the list, but he's still on the staff. Okay, it would. You want to talk about the amount of press that would be at FAMU practices every single day? Every single day. And then Bill Belichick basically walking the sideline looking like Darth Sidious or Emperor Palpatine every week.
He's saying it for reading the room. I mean,
I have something going on this evening that just happened to me. A wowing experience. I don't know what Ace has going on.
I have had a wowing week.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go. Also,
yeah, we're keeping it going though.
This happened too. So only one HBCU player was invited to the Senior Bowl. This is still a problem.
Yep.
So,
we've been saying this, 2 years? I think it's been over 2
3 years. So
complaining about the same
don't
issue.
think just because, Willie's gone and Dion's gone, so let's just go back to things as they used to be, regularly scheduled programming. This is still a problem. Willie Drew from Virginia State.
Majority of guys who go to the Senior Bowl get drafted. Only one guy's going this year. It's kind of like, why are we only doing this? Not we haven't got productive HBCU players in the league right now. You got a couple on the Rams, got the Lions, even though he's been hurt this season. And you got like Shaq Davis was on a practice squad most of the season. Xavier Smith was on a practice squad. You got guys on practice. Hell, Marquise Bell was one of the best Cowboys players this season.
He's one of the best middle linebackers in the league this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about it. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't tell. Like, Isaiah Major should have been at the Senior Bowl. That's insane, dude. Like, come on. I'm pretty sure. I think he's a senior. Bubba Colton Adams at Alabama State, who was like the runner-up for SWAC Defensive Player of the Year to Isaiah Major, should have been there. Should have been there. Like, dude, come on, man. Like, are you serious right now? Only one, and that's a Division II HBCU. So you mean to tell me there's no Division I HBCU players that were deserving to go? Yeah, it should be a minimum at least.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It should be a minimum 3 every single year. And D1 at that, not D2 guys. Well, D2 guys, they count for something too. But still, because it's like, what are we doing? Like, you need to look under every rock and every crevice to find the talent. It's the best talent in the country, not the best talent in the FBS. Or not the best talent at the PWIs. I'm sure he says that because like a lot of it is controlled NFL rules, and then it's like a lot of these kids opted out of bowl games and stuff to prepare for this moment, and a lot of these guys probably won't get drafted. Not first round. Not even second round.
Well, don't worry. The Saints will take 3 of them, and they're going to all be trash.
See, why you got to do that?
Because they've done it. Bruh, they took 3 dudes from the Senior Bowl this year, and all 3 were trash. Took a dude from the Senior Bowl in 2022. Trash. They've gotten maybe 2 good players from the Senior Bowl out of like 20.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Pitiful.
I don't get it, man. It's wild, dude. You gotta do better. The people that run the Senior Bowl have to do a better job of scouting the talent and convincing the talent to come. Because, dude, the scouts go to these HBCUs and stuff, dude. They see the talent. And we just had Savion Williams on a year or two ago, and he told us too. It's like don't get it twisted. Like even though I played in the SEC, there's some dudes I played against in the SWAC or in HBCU ball that were dogs. Like, come on. That kid Keyshawn Johnson, who played at Prairie View, played like defensive end. He's talented enough where he could have gotten an invite. Like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing, guys? Come on, let's get it real. All right. I mean, what else is there? I'm trying to think.
Oh yeah, also
for the
the
ECU section.
The payouts. I almost forgot. Trust me.
Oh yeah, that is true. Well, generally it's Bill Belichick who finds them.
Yes, like for what's his name, Isaiah Bolden. Well, he started out at Florida State. I knew he was good when he was at FSU, but like, dude, Isaiah Bolden was a gem when Bill Belichick found him and put him on the field and played him. It's just he suffered an unfortunate injury in preseason. Aside from that, though, I thought he was going to be excellent. I thought that was an excellent pickup. Okay. Here it is. So as far as the payouts go, actually, wait, let me close this down real quick. There we go. So as far as the payouts go, these are the payouts from every game. Actually, wait, let's answer Drunk's question first. What does he got?
I've been thinking about Belichick at FAMU a lot, and by lately, I mean since y'all told me 10 minutes ago.
That's the alcohol talking.
So
I'm gonna zoom in on it. Can we see this?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. That's better. All right. So as far as payouts go, from least to most, so the only one they don't know about is Alcorn at UAB. The next highest that are tied for $325K. Bethune at Western Michigan this year, North Carolina A&T at Wake Forest. I think, yeah, both FBS programs pull that off. South Carolina State at Georgia Southern. Ooh, that's an old FCS playoff type matchup. $337,500. And then
you know what sucks? Most of these payouts you can't even buy a house with nowadays.
You know, that's actually really sad and very true.
Mm-hmm.
That is like you really can't. Like, you can't really buy a house until you get up there in Alabama A&M Auburn territory.
It's like these payouts are pretty low, man. Holy crap.
They are. They really are. And it's a huge divide between all of them and the one at the top. So, yeah, Norfolk State at East Carolina, $350K. Jackson State at ULM, $350K. Morgan State at Ohio, $425,000K. Or I double entendre myself. Alabama A&M at Auburn, $525K. Which is, you could buy a house at this point. And then you could buy a really nice house at this point, really, right here. FAMU, $700K. But you know the difference really between the FAMU Miami game and all these other games? Something that we need to take consideration into. What? A lot of these schools are FBS group of 5 teams, except for Wake Forest, which honestly, Wake Forest is kind of, in my opinion, Wake Forest is kind of lowballing A&T with that price.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But, I mean, the Auburn, Alabama A&M's, that's about where I thought it would be. FAMU getting that much from Miami, it makes sense. Miami's a private institution in probably one of the most money-hungry, money-rich, or just, I was going to say just money-rich counties in the state of Florida. Like, it makes sense getting $700K. Plus, it's like you're paying them to just show up, bring the band, and it's early in the season. So, I mean, that makes sense to me. So I mean,
I
it's
mean, yeah, I guess it's not terrible outside of that Wake Forest one for like who they're playing against, but like you kind of wish you'd see a little bit more, and like the days of
oh,
inflation and stuff
you
like that.
do, dude. Like if you go up to Columbus, I mean, give or take, you're gonna get your brains bashed in. But like, if any of those teams were to go to Columbus, they can make off with like 900,000.
Mm-hmm. Like
Like
hell, I
you
mean,
would,
if you want to go for like a homecoming game or whatever, just like I mean, you're gonna probably get destroyed, but I mean, like, hey, that's almost $1 million. I think Marshall was it Marshall? I think got or one of them schools got like a lot of money, like over $1 million to play Notre Dame for homecoming or something like that, and they got their brains
Mhm.
beaten. It was hilarious. They didn't get their brains beaten. Like they upset Notre Dame, and it basically had like Notre Dame's brains beaten. It was hilarious.
so but Morgan State versus Ohio ain't a 400K difference. My point exactly. It's a group of
That's
5
it.
squad. That's why I'm just like, you should. It's crazy, man. I know one thing. If it was me, I'm not taking 400K to go play a football game. I know I'm going to probably go get beat by 50, and I'm just not. I'm sorry. The take home was greater for the Orange Blossom Classic than for a lot of those games. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about take home just one way. Take home both ways was higher than a lot of those games. I don't get it, man.
Let's talk about this Super Bowl. We've
Definitely.
been postponing it long enough.
The Super Bowl that nobody wanted. The
Except
Super Bowl
Kansas City fans, Swifties, and people from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Literally nobody.
Oh, dude, he would have built an empire. If he would have stayed, he would have built an empire. He would. I honestly, truly do believe, I say this unbiasedly, if he had stayed, he would have won a 3rd consecutive SWAC title, and his team would have been good enough because his teams got better and better every year. They just blew it in the Celebration Bowl, but I believe that he would have had a team that would have challenged South Dakota State. I do believe that. Take it as you will, but I think that.
Bruh, yeah, this Super Bowl is gonna be so like really we have to watch Brock Purdy on one side and Taylor Swift every 5 seconds on the other side.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be horrible.
Like we wanted a Ravens Lions, like it's just like the mistakes the Ravens made and the mistakes the Lions made was like the Lions all of a sudden Josh Reynolds couldn't catch a ball. Like, come on now. Like, I don't know, like people say moment gets to you, but some of them decisions it's like, are y'all just like trying to lose this game or something? Or like what are you doing? Like Lamar channeled his inner Jameis Winston inside the 30-yard line. Zay Flowers could have walked into that end zone if he just like stiffened, loosened up his body. He could have bounced right off of those tackles and got in the end zone.
Honestly, the one where he fumbled diving into the end zone, if you keep that close to your body and just dive in, you make it in.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you just go and just hold on to it, you could have got in and you would have been fine. But he dove and the ball got popped. It's just that play changed the game because I think Ravens were going to win that game at that point. Like, no, actually, I would say the game flipped when they got Zay Flowers for taunting. I mean, it kind of was, but then again, like the Chiefs been doing it all game and they didn't call squad.
I agree.
But in that moment, they decided to call it taunting on the biggest play of the game at that point.
Mm-hmm. Bro, Lamar was sitting in the pocket.
Beckham is so washed, bro. It's unbelievable. Beckham couldn't get open for squat.
He done got old, man, which I That's crazy to think so soon.
Bateman got that foot injury and then forgot how to play. Like he couldn't play after that.
But I will say this too.
I think the Ravens defense was cooking. It was the Ravens offense was just struggling.
To this point, I'll say this. Kansas City did all the if you look at what Kansas City did and you look back at what all those old Patriots teams did, what did Kansas City have over Baltimore? They had the experience. Because if you noticed, what did Kansas City do? They took what you gave them the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. Chunk plays every now and again, not explosive plays, but chunk plays, taking what you give them short, turning it into long plays, getting into field goal range, getting inside the 20, scoring, slowly but surely building a deficit, forcing Baltimore to go on the offensive and try to make big plays, which they did, but, forcing them to make so many of them to where they caused mistakes on their own. They made Baltimore get out of their comfort zone. Also, forced Lamar to not do Lamar things. And then also, too, it's like, I look at it and I'm like, when Lamar threw it into triple coverage, I was like, this is over. This is over.
Oh, yeah.
So what Kansas City did reminded me of an old Patriots team. It really did. They looked like they've been there before multiple times. And
having Steve Spagnuolo as your DC for years is just a cheat code.
Yeah.
Like normally, like good teams when they have a good defense, like DCs, like generally they get poached for head coaching jobs. But just like with Spag, it's just like he's just sitting there chilling, and nobody's gonna take him to be a head coach, so he could just keep running his defense, and it works.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And the thing is now they're doing this without big names like Honey Badger. Who else am I thinking? Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Even oh my gosh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire isn't even like a catalyst player making big impact plays.
He's just chilling now.
Exactly.
Yeah, Pacheco's good, man. I'm like, when you watch Pacheco play, it's like, why do you take a running back round one?
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically the whole thing about the running back market, because Pacheco's so like I said, nobody wants him to be a head coach.
Oh my god.
Bro, now I don't know what that.
Wow.
He said, "Excuse my language, but I can't stack, bro."
I'm gonna try to stay focused here. So
all right, regroup.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's how they did it. How did the 49ers pull this off, if possible? So they're playing
contain Mahomes and hit him quickly.
So they won 5, they lost the last 2. So they're playing in the franchise's 8th Super Bowl in their history. So it becomes, how do they do it? Like he said, contain Mahomes, keep Mahomes on the sideline. That's my thing.
Oh, yeah,
keep Mahomes on the sideline.
You better hope you get second half Purdy and not first half Purdy.
Yeah, you need second half Purdy for the full game.
Terrible.
I agree.
Bro, I don't know what the hell that Lions even. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson needs to shut up and just like retire or something. Become a full-time streamer, because every time he runs his mouth, bad things happen. I've always like, run his mouth, bad things gonna happen.
Not you finally admitting that.
Man, not you finally. It's true, that. Bro. When you have 3 cities hate you, like they all want you gone, and like they hate your guts. Like at that point, you're like, something you're doing is wrong. It's not a you problem. It's a me problem at that point with him.
I'm trying to think. Wait, so 3 cities hate him. So what? New Orleans?
New Orleans hate him. Philadelphia and Detroit.
Oh, I was gonna say Tampa hates him too.
So
like, do they really? Yeah, well,
Detroit
4 cities.
Too.
I was gonna say
Brian Branch is already better than him. So like,
well, yeah,
and you got
Brian
Tracy
Branch
Walker and Kirby Joseph. So
Brian Branch
is gonna pay him. Yeah, it's
Dang, that's
crazy
crazy.
how he does it.
You have 4 cities that hate your guts. That's you know how much of a a-hole you have to really be?
Draymond probably got like 10 though.
Oh, definitely. And a whole country. Canada. 10 cities in a whole country. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. See, and
That's
then
crazy though.
for San Francisco though to like go back and look at the NFC Championship, you know, I look at it. Detroit had the game. It was 24-7, but when you go for a
That
4th
helmet
and
catch,
3,
like I
4th
wouldn't say
and
the helmet
short,
catch, but it's also the fourth down.
dude, 4th and 3, and Josh Reynolds drops it twice on 4th and 3s. Like
I don't know why they didn't run it for Amon-Ra. You can scheme a
he
guy open
almost
on 4th and 3.
he almost
You could
messed up
have
one.
one. Hey, James almost dropped a touchdown at the end on 4th down
Dude,
too. But next season, man, they gotta let Jameson Williams get more than like 3 targets a game. They gotta give him a lot. Like let him. You traded up a lot of picks to go get him, and you barely use him beside a big play guy. You need to get him to be a full rounded wide receiver. And that is what the Lions need right now because like you got Amon-Ra, who's your possession guy who can go get the short yardage, and he's gonna get you like 1,500 as a top 5 wide receiver in the league. But you gotta get somebody outside of him to do it in big games. Like yeah, Jamo just chilling most of that game, besides that first touchdown. So
I don't get it, man. It's just again, it's back to what we talked about, like in a text message after I guess a day or two after the game. It's like there's a lot of grit there with Detroit from Dan Campbell, but there's not enough. Let's slow down, take a minute, and use our brains and put our thinking caps on to make little decisions that can go a long way in a game. Because it's like if you simply just kick the field goal, you're at the 30 or like the 35. If you kick the field goal, you make the field goal, it's tied up at one. You get to a point where it's like, okay, it's 34-34. You're still playing at this point right now in overtime with a chance to win it. You just got to get a stop if you lose the toss. Like, I don't understand it's little things like that like where it's like you have more bronze than brains. And it costs
going for it is good until it's like at certain points you got to just take points when they give it to you, especially in playoff games where it's like points are like every point matters. You can't just say no to a point. If you have opportunity for points, you had to take it.
You do. It's just I don't know what he was thinking. I've even talked to like 3 Lions fans. I was like, dude, what were you thinking when he didn't kick the field goal or go take the 3-point try? Like, and they're like, don't talk about it. I am still hurting about it. I don't want to talk about it. I literally cried after this game because we made it so far, and I don't know if we're ever going to get back to this point. I'm like, geez. I was like, that is the true definition of a fan base that never had anything.
Hey, I think it's something down there, man. Because like Keyshawn Boo got like what, like 90,000 bets.
It was funny. Have you heard Keyshawn Boots' FSU LSU thing?
Story, the one of why he didn't play the bowl game or whatever.
Or no, the one of why he thought he was like he bet on himself to like go crazy against Florida State and he didn't. He got like
yeah, that was hilarious. You know what? I'm gonna say this here, drunk. So there's teams who are becoming old teams, right? So you have coaches who go to new teams and they take that same thing with them to the new team. So Dan Campbell's basically the Saints. Like the Broncos and the Lions are both becoming the Saints, basically, and the Saints are becoming the Raiders. And it's like the Bucks were becoming the Patriots at one point in time. Now they're not, but back then they were. Who else is it? Forgetting somebody. Somebody else was doing this. Yeah, the Falcons are becoming the Rams.
Honestly, I looked at the Falcons back like the 2016 team, and even like a few years before that, and a couple years after that, I looked at the Falcons as a team that I felt like they built it too fast. Like the foundation was built too fast, and it wasn't sustainable for long-term
Which one?
success. The 2016 team that blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. Like I felt like
They
that
should have just ran the ball.
they should have, but honestly, it's like just dumb decision making. But I also something told me like this team isn't built for long-term success. Like they didn't build it like slowly the right way, in my opinion. Like how the Chiefs have, like how the Bucks did, like how the Patriots did, and it was sustainable. Imagine betting on yourself when you can just simply do good and make extra. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I don't know what goes through people's minds with this, but Drunk's absolutely
He cost
right.
himself a lot of money, though. He cost himself a lot of money. He was a first-round pick lock, and he just that junior season was a disaster.
And not to mention, you had NIL deals. Like, what do you need to gamble for? You're about to be making millions in the NFL.
Addiction.
You're right. It is an addiction. So that makes sense. That is one way that'll cause it. But man, like, dude, you're about to be making millions in the NFL. You got NIL deals. Like, plus, not to mention the stuff the boosters are shooting you under the table and everything such as that. Like you could probably walk into a dealership and leave with any vehicle you want because the owner of the dealership is probably an LSU grad. Like, dude, what are you? I don't know. See, this is why I'm almost 30, dude. I don't get what people are thinking sometimes.
He said, "I'm almost 30. I don't know what people think. I don't know."
I don't know, dude. This is why I'm just like I don't get it. It's crazy because Ace, all these people are your age.
Well, I might get some strays on this, bro. I can't talk for my generation. Nah, but I guess we could talk about Seahawks hiring Mike McDonald. Shout out them. They got their head coach 6-year deal, man. That's a lot of years. But Seahawks, they're a franchise. They're not going to fire head coach quick anyway. They got a good foundation and structure. I did find it surprising. Ben Johnson decided to stay with the Lions, but then again, his options were. I don't think Seattle offered him the job probably because they with their culture they probably wanted a defensive minded head coach, not an offensive minded one. So with them, it's not entirely surprising. But then also when you look at Washington, like Washington's got a lot of issues still in that franchise, bro. You can't just change owner and hope all the issues that was in that culture and franchise just goes away. So with him, it's not surprising that he didn't take the Washington job. Said, you know what, let me go win with the Lions and see if a better job opens up next year. So with the Seahawks, I think they're going to be all right. I mean, the young McDonald had a team joke instead of old McDonald had a farm. That was
they got to find a way. They got to find a way to get back past the 49ers, and they got to figure out a way to keep the Rams at bay. They have to.
And 49ers. They had to figure out a way to get to the 49ers.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Cardinals are going to probably have Marvin or offensive lineman this year, and they're going to be right back in it.
Who, the 49ers?
No, the Cardinals. Remember, Johnson Gannon was having a lot of close games with that team to get Kyler back fully healthy. You got either Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, or offensive lineman coming in to help him out. It is like that NFC West is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, and I could see it. Ace Big Dog Street saying been waiting on the Saints job.
If only, man. If only. That's all I could say. If only.
You never know.
They got to fire DA, man. I don't know what's taking them so long. Hell, man, you guys, actually, I'll say this. The best thing that was going on Sunday afternoon was not the Kansas City Ravens game, the Chiefs Ravens game. It was Michael Thomas blasting the Saints to the Kingdom Come on Twitter. I don't know if you didn't see. Did you see that or no?
No, I didn't see that. What happened?
All right, let me pull up the tweets. Give me 1 second. I got to pull them up on my phone. Where's the screen recording of it? That was Sunday. Where are you? Where are the photos from Sunday? Crap. Today's what, Wednesday? All right.
Yeah, today's
Where
Wednesday.
are you? Here we go. Nope, that's a screenshot. Where's the videos? You talk while I find it.
Oh, well, while he finds that, the other thing too is, well, Dave Canales landed with the Carolina Panthers as well too. Washington and Eric Bieniemy. What is going on? I don't know. I don't get it. So, waiting to see. Honestly, if Washington was anyway decent, they should just promote Eric Bieniemy as head coach. Whereas, I don't like, you're gonna mess around and let this man possibly even leave and go somewhere else and be an OC. Which honestly, if I'm waiting for Todd Bowles to go ahead and make this phone call and just be like, well, Todd Bowles and the Glazers and Jason like to make this phone call and be like, hey, you know what, Eric Bieniemy, we want to bring you in as a possible candidate to interview for this OC job. But, I don't know what Washington's doing. I would have hired him.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, first tweet is Michael Thomas saying, you see what they said about how Mahomes used his eyes there, right? So that was the first one where it's kind of like how throwing shade. Because speaking of MT, can y'all address the Kadarius Toney saying the Chiefs lying about him being injured?
I saw
that. That's not the first time he's done that, saying the team lied about his injury.
Saw that. Yeah, dude. No, he was going off on his story. He didn't play in the AFC Championship, did he?
Yeah,
right?
He didn't play. He got crushed, basically.
Yeah, like, dude, he was going off on his story. I was like, whoa. Oh, okay.
All right. So next one was somebody was saying they were trying to recruit Mike to the Chiefs, and he said God's timing can be the best too. And then somebody was saying how he's always hurt, and your stats were because of Drew. And he said, on top of that, the Saints weren't even trying to get me the ball because like he was open a lot, and he even alluded to it. And then he says, like an article that was written by a certain Saints reporter who doesn't like him at all. And he said he won't write about why no offensive coordinator has taken the job that they've interviewed them for, and it's all propaganda and politics. I play the sport the right way, and I will always rise.
So, do you think this is the end of Michael Thomas in the Saints uniform?
Oh yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's not going.
What about Marshawn Lattimore?
He's probably gone too. Dennis Allen's getting rid of all the key culture guys, even though he was hired to preserve the culture.
What about Cam Jordan?
Ironic. No, they decided to pay him a bunch of money for some reason, even though he's washed beyond years.
I was gonna say,
washed in a bleached shirt.
You know what's crazy about it too is like Cam Jordan talks the most trash of any Saints player, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like for like 11 weeks, I thought that man retired or was on IR.
He was a ghost. He didn't do much of anything last year. At least Michael Thomas was on pace for 1,000 yards last season before Derek Carr threw him a hospital ball. And
yeah, I was gonna say, dude, honestly,
Kenny Stills couldn't catch anything.
To me, at least, Michael Thomas hadn't been the same since that Week 1 Bucs Saints game.
Yeah, and the ankle.
His ankle. He hadn't been the same since that game. And that was what, 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't been the same since that moment, dude. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, I was expecting Michael Thomas to come back in a big way in 2021. I was expecting it to come back in 2022 in a big way. And then
they bought surgeries is what they said.
This season, I just gave up.
He wasn't bad. He was open a lot. It's just Derek Carr was in that whole phase where he would hit his back foot and check it down. because he was on pace for 1,000 yards, and he was getting like the scripted plays, at the beginning of the game, he would get that, and then like maybe in garbage time or at the end of the game, he would get targets. But in between the second and third quarter, he wasn't getting squat. Oh wow, blockbuster hockey trade if you care.
Read it.
Calgary Flames getting a first round pick, a good winger, 2 prospects for Elias Lindholm, who's an all-star defenseman. Good for Vancouver. Anyways, back to football now. Yeah, so he was on pace for 1,000 yards. Derek Carr was just not throwing him the ball, and it's funny because people would say, "Well, he was the one who recruited Carr to the Saints or whatever." But like, I said it on Twitter. I was like, "You can want to date somebody because they look hot, but then you realize your personality is total shit."
Ooh, speak of the devil. That's a word. Speak of the devil. That is a word. Ooh.
All right, boys. Moving on to college football now. We have anything else to talk about in NFL?
We don't have college football. We have
college basketball.
No, we have this.
Oh, NBA! Yay! Finally.
That's not the one I want. It's not the one I want.
Don't worry, if you change it again, I'm gonna be annoyed.
Here we go. That one.
All right, cool. This one's not bad. All right, what we got to talk about for the NBA? How did the Timberwolves take first in the West, bro? They're good.
I'm genuinely shocked by this.
Bro, where were you? They were giving the Nuggets a battle last year. They gave the Nuggets more fight than the Lakers did. Anthony Edwards is baby Mike. He plays almost exactly like Mike does.
I'm blown away because honestly, I did not have the Minnesota Timberwolves in my deck of cards as a major player in basketball this year or in the NBA. I didn't. My usual suspects were going to be.
You're casual.
Look, basketball to me, sadly, nowadays is not. It doesn't get good until the playoffs, or close to the playoffs, or after the All-Star break. Really, I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't, because again, my players for the West coming into this season were Denver, Sacramento, because I had a feeling Sacramento was going to build on what they did last year. Phoenix, because they were going to hold on. Utah, maybe. I had high expectations for Golden State too, as always, just because of how they work and consistency. But they're 20-24 right now, so cancel that out. I mean, heck, even OKC surprising me, dude. Like,
OKC's how long good. They got like a lot of young pieces there. Yeah, that is basically it right there. I still think Jimmy's Mike's unclaimed child. Literally.
I think that's someone I've been impressed by too, because I was watching NBA Finals. Like I like Jimmy Butler. I mean, I'm also a Heat fan.
Teams, man.
I'm also a Heat fan. I like Jimmy, dude. Jimmy was doing his thing in the playoffs last year, so I'm excited to see what he does this year, even more so. Actually, they're playing right now. The Heat are actually winning 79-75 over Sacramento.
Ooh, with wow. 2 teams you were just talking about.
Again, yeah, exactly. Those are 2 teams I expected to make some noise and be.
Miami's been struggling lately, though. Miami's had a big losing streak come up. I was like, I don't know what's going on with the Heat.
Spoelstra's going through a divorce, man.
They waited for his divorce to clear before they paid him.
As they should. Dude, look.
That was hilarious.
That's what needs to happen.
When they announced that, I was like, oh yeah, they good business there. That's good business for them and for
if you look at it, the Heat as an organization, like they do things similar to how like that old Spurs way. The Heat do things in-house, build it up, and as you've seen what, since 2020 they've been in the finals twice. Like
That's because of Jimmy.
that's how it's supposed to be.
But also,
That's
he can find anybody and make them good. It's just crazy how it happens. And once those guys leave, it's kind of like it's basically like the Patriots of the NBA. It's like they can take these nobodies, get them good.
Spurs, like Spurs.
Spurs are the old Patriots. This I'm talking about, like, like the Patriots. They can find nobody, make them good, and then the second they leave, they're trash. It's hilarious. Like Gabe Vincent mainly is one of them. Max Drew surprisingly is one of the few guys I've seen leave the Heat and actually stay good. That was a nobody at one point.
Good developmental system, man. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And I can honestly say that's why I'm happy to see that. Like, I'm happy to see that, like, they didn't fall off a cliff in a large way when LeBron left, because that's what I feared was going to happen. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, LeBron done left. I think this is going to fall off hard.
That's why they're losing, probably.
That's what you. Hey, look. Plus, it's a lot of nice looking women down there in Dade County that he has to choose from now. He keeps his options open. Oh, they're actually up 82 to 75 now at 4:05 left in the third.
Don't worry, Malik Monk won't miss for the fourth quarter. That's how it works.
Oh, and they got a foul. Jimmy Butler actually got a foul in it and won.
That's hilarious. All right, what else we have for basketball?
Oh, well, the dilemma with the Pistons. How did we get here?
That's nothing new.
I mean, look, how do you go from nobody should be down this long? I don't get it. Like the Nets done
terribly. I don't know.
I just look at all these teams since 2005 that have made the playoffs. Like the Celtics done been, Milwaukee done, everybody in the East done been. Everybody's in the playoff picture now in the East has been since 2005. The Bulls been there. The Bulls done been one series away from the NBA Finals. I'm pretty sure. And then the Hawks done been to the playoffs. Like Charlotte done been there. And then you got little old Detroit, who ain't done nothing since Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace and all them guys. Like, what are we? Why 6-40? Are you serious? And I'm pretty sure they don't have a lot, or what? What's up with the lottery pick?
They do have their lottery pick, but this draft is not great compared to the last two with Paolo and Wemby, which, by the way, is going on right now. And that game is not disappointing right now. As Paolo's got 14-5-3 at half, Wemby's got 14-6-3 at the half. They're going at it right now. That game should have been on national TV, but no, we have to watch Brooklyn and Phoenix, which sucks. Because it's KD's return for Brooklyn, even though he really didn't do squat for Brooklyn. He couldn't remember where his feet were on the line.
Hence why I'd rather watch this Orlando Magic Spurs game tonight.
Exactly. But yeah, man, I feel bad for Pistons fans. They deserve better. Cade's been hurt a lot, but when Cade is on, the whole team sucks. And like Monty Williams, they paid him a whole lot of money, and he's been terrible.
Well, they're locked up.
Carried him or what?
They're locked up 116 to 116 with the Cavs right now, with 3:42 left to go in the fourth.
Bro, what are the Cavs doing, man? Cavs supposed to be good. I don't know what the Cavs are doing.
I don't know, man. Wait, hold on. When was the NFC Championship? What weekend was that? Was that okay?
The NFC Championship was literally Sunday.
Yeah, so that was the 28th. Okay, let's go back and look at this now. Because the Pistons beat the Thunder, and the funny part about it is someone was like, we used our good juju on the wrong team.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I saw that.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's the most Detroit thing ever. The
Oh
Pistons
wow!
win.
I just said here. Hold on. Remember how I said Max Struess was good? Like one of the few
Mhm.
guys who left the Heat was good, bruh. People are tweeting bench Max Struess. He's a brick. Fouls everyone and he can't hit anything. And right now he is shooting 1 of 6 from the field.
Hey, everybody has a bad night.
Mm-hmm. Bruh,
Honestly.
nah. Said don't win finals and get forever. But I'm make finals and get paid forever. Bro, Doc Rivers still having a job, bro. The Bucks hired Doc Rivers. They fired Adrian Griffin, who they just hired. They fired him with mid-season. And then they hired Doc Rivers, had the bright idea to hire Doc Rivers, and he goes and blows the lead in the first game he coaches, like he always does in the playoffs. I'm like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I
all
looked
the
at that.
coaches in the league, why did you hire him back? He has not been good since 2008.
I was so confused by that because I was sitting there. I was like, we're not towards the end of the season or the start of the season. We're in the middle of the NBA season. We're coming up on the All-Star break, and we're firing and hiring somebody. Like, what? I was
I
very
don't know what the
taken
Bucks
back
are
by that.
doing.
I was like, first the draft became confusing to me and stuff because you can never really say who's officially what, and then like now it's like you got this situation now where you got NBA knows how to fire and hire coaches in the middle of a season. Like, it's just weird now because now it's like in the middle of a season we got to change our whole philosophy up of what we're doing. But I guess
Full
it is
steam.
easier. Yeah, but I mean, I
It's
guess it
easier
is
for
kind of easy.
basketball.
Yeah, because you got 5 guys on the floor at once versus like say football, like you got like 11 guys on the field at once going a million miles per hour.
But the
So, I
Bucks
mean, I
is a
guess
pretty simple offense, though. It's give the ball to Giannis. If he can get to the paint, you let him get to the paint. If not, you find Dame and let him shoot it from however far. But Dame's been pretty. It's been a down year for Dame by his standards. I'll just say that.
Mm.
Compared to the Dame
Ooh.
that we've known for those years, it's kind of been a down year for him.
Magic are up 57-51 over the Spurs right now, and Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah,
8
they
points.
are rough stuff. Yeah, J.I. blocked Wemby. You know,
4
Wemby's
5.
like 7'4". It's crazy.
Yo, he's been balling actually with these like. I like this.
Now, see,
I like
the whole thing with Jonathan Isaac is Jonathan Isaac would be so good if he wasn't made of glass. His legs are legit made of string cheese.
I will say that looking at him though, like his physical build, he's come a long way since his time at Florida State when he was just like a twig.
He still kind of is a twig, though.
Yeah, no,
It's
but
not
he
like
looks
he's
a little bit
gone-
more
like
broad.
he's put on a little bit more buff up top, but like his legs are still just nah. Them legs, that's like every game is either a hamstring, a knee, quad, a calf. It's just like Jesus Christ, man. Take a break on them legs.
Well, let's see what Banchero's doing. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists
I
tonight.
just read the whole thing.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You read it. You're a little slow. It's okay. I'm just kidding.
I mean, geez, like, dude, I'm trying to give the NBA a chance because
I know. All right. Let's see. We could talk about who do you think is going to win MVP, but you probably wouldn't know. I would probably say Shea should probably get it this year, not Embiid. Embiid's going to miss too many games at this point.
I was gonna say it's too soon
You
to
have
tell.
No, because the NBA changed the rules now where you have to play at least 65 games to be able to qualify for awards. And Embiid's getting close to the limit of how many games you can miss. So if he doesn't get it, then it's like it opens the door to either Shea or Jason Tatum or Luka to get it.
I could see Luka.
See, I'm saying Shea because he's averaging over 30 and his team is like second in the West right now. is crazy going right now in the West. Actually, they're third right now. They're tied with the Nuggets. Nuggets are second, and Timberwolves are holding a 1-game lead over them.
It's actually funny. Speaking of Embiid, Embiid is out for Thursday night. He
Like
had
I
his knee.
said,
Jokic, lower back, is expected to miss his second game of this season. Marc Gasol officially retires after 14 seasons. Jeez,
and I
Pau
think
Gasol,
Memphis is retiring his jersey.
that's crazy. Pau Gasol's brother finally retired. Jeez. That's wild, man. We're getting old. That's crazy.
We're old, man. People getting old. LeBron will retire soon, and then we'll know we're really
I
old.
saw something where it's like they wanted to bring LeBron back to Miami and then they wanted to
Nah,
draft Bronny.
Embiid, bro. I cannot watch Joel Embiid play basketball. That is one of the most painful things to do. Like, you know, like people always say walking on Legos is rough. Watching Joel Embiid play basketball is one of the most painful things for your eyes. It is basically free throw, foul, free throw. It is just like a free throw fest. It's like, dude is a certified flopper. He learned how to play basketball from playing soccer and flopping. It's just jeez, man.
Wow.
I don't like him at all. And then again, he's also never made it to the third.
Just a tirade on Joel Embiid there. My
Yeah,
goodness,
boy.
dude.
Yeah. He's been old since 07. Where I feel like Marc Gasol was just in like the playoffs with Mike Conley and stuff in like 2016. And then I realized 2016 was 8 years ago.
Don't remind. Jeez. That's even worse. That's even worse.
Bro, like I found out the Lego movie's 10 years old. I'm like, oh my god, we're getting old. With that note, guys, thanks for another episode of the Running Gun Podcast. We're getting old. Reality of time is catching up to us because, like, geez, man, that's crazy. Hell, it's been, 2 years since Big Ben and Drew retired?
It's crazy. You got me thinking now.
It's been a year now.
It's great. You got me
Time
thinking, like, dang, Jurassic World, that first one with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, it came out in 2015. That's almost
9 years, boy. 9 years.
Oh my god. And that was like a All right, yeah, it's time to wrap this up. I'm having.
Thank you guys for another episode. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Shout out everybody who was in the comments. Drunk. There's somebody else in here. Ashton, Troy White. Shout out y'all for the comments. If you were watching on Instagram, make sure you follow on the YouTube page. If you're on Twitter, same thing. Penalty Talk on YouTube. Help support us. Yeah, anything else?
Be safe, stay blessed. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Next week's Super Bowl week. Take care, America. But yeah, is next week Super Bowl week? Yeah, it is. Oh my god.
Not this weekend, next weekend.
Or yeah, next weekend. Jeez, that's crazy.
We're on the outro.
Yeah.
This time is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Wait. One thing. What is the one thing? Hurry up.
Jeez, golly. Ahead,
I just saw Mel State on a podcast, and I started a podcast, and entering this space. Good night. Yeah, they're taking it over for us fans because, like, you got guys like Gilbert Arenas who's talking and they got no idea about ball, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? It is rough. Some guys shouldn't have a podcast. Just because they play doesn't mean they should have a voice on talking basketball. Because some of them never even probably graduated high school or college. So
what? Damn. It's actually wild because that is very true. Damn. Oh my god.
Today, good night. Run the outro.
Wow.